We're going to bring in Hal Lambert, a former advisor to Senator Ted Cruz. He also served on former President Trump's inauguration committee. Thank you for joining us this morning, Hal.
Thank you.
What do you make of the raid and what comes next? Actually, I shouldn't call it a raid. What do you make of the serving of this search warrant at Mar-a-Lago and what comes next?
Well, that's interesting that you're not calling it a raid. I guess that's because the FBI said on TV yesterday they don't want it called a raid. But 30 people going into the house is certainly a raid. I think it's all about keeping former President Trump from running again. And I think they were worried he could announce at any time. He had hinted at it over and over again over the last few weeks. And they wanted to do this prior to him announcing because they didn't want it to seem as political as it obviously is. You don't need to send 30 FBI agents to go in and get some boxes out of a house that potentially contain National Archives information that they would like to have. You go through the court system. This is clearly set up to indict him. I think that's the next step. They'll try to do that with a D.C. grand jury. That'll be about 98% a Democrat pool, and they'll likely get the indictment. And that'll put a big cloud over any campaign that President Trump tries to run in the next election cycle. That's what this is about.
Well, this isn't just Joe Biden whispering to Merrick Garland to say, do this to kill Trump's presidency. There are legal channels they have to go through. They had to go through a magistrate. They had to go through a judge. They had to get a search warrant. They had to specify exactly why they were searching Mar-a-Lago. Why do you say this is so partisan when there is a very clear and eventually transparent paper trail here that will show you exactly why they're looking for the things they're looking for and why they had to go this route?
Well, I'll agree with you. Joe Biden didn't whisper anything to Merrick Garland. Joe Biden didn't even know it happened. I'm sure he would have forgotten a few minutes after they told him about it. So that's clearly not happened. But I will say that what the rest of that, what you just said, look, that's all political. They went through a magistrate that's an Obama donor and clearly didn't like President Trump. You can get a judge to sign off on pretty much anything. People act like, but the media tends to act like, well, a judge signed off on this. Judges are really, attorneys with political connections. That's why they're judges. So, to say that just because a judge signed off on this, that made it all okay, I don't think that's actually the case.
Well, can a former president then just ignore the laws on classified document storage and just do whatever he wants? Because that is the accusation here, is that he was supposed to have given this material back. There could be national security risks here, and he didn't do it. So what was a better way to get this done? Because they've been negotiating with him for months.
Well, you continue to get negotiations. You continue to talk through the legal process, and you file with the court system and say, hey, he has to turn these documents over. Then that you order a subpoena to get the documents delivered. And that's how you go about the process. You don't raid the former president's home to do that. They don't even know what's there. We don't know what was there. But certainly it doesn't rise to the level of doing what they did. This is all about keeping him from running for president again, and that's the whole purpose of it.
Well, that is an opinion, and I understand that you hold that opinion, sir, but we want to make sure we clearly label it as such. Hal Lambert, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.